The Chief Executive Officer of Eco Electricity, Engineer Adeoye Fadeyibi, is quick to explain some issues connected with tariffs. As a distribution company, he says that it's not as bountiful as they would have liked it to be at this time, but the adjustment they would love to see cannot be effected because there are factors to consider.
There's a science to the tariff. It's not it's always good, and I like that the general public, I've had conversations there, I'm encouraged by the fact that the general public more and more are getting interested in this tariff discussion. They're getting to understand what it means. It's not a tool. It's what we call a cost-reflected tariff. We're guided. This industry is guided. This industry is regulated. There's MITO under the multi-year tariff order. There's instances that trigger a tariff review. So there is a tariff order, right? So it's in going ahead and calculating the cost-reflected tariff. There are market indices that around inflation, around foreign exchange, around there's a number of different things that when those things happen, it automatically, just like everything else, causes a review of a tariff. So it's not really an argument. The fact that, as a matter of fact, there's been two recent completed reviews where we know that there's supposed to be a tariff adjustment. It's yet to be executed, and we know for many different reasons. As it's also affecting the business, it's also affecting people that are going to pay for it. So I think at the end of the day, it's understanding and recognizing that we do not have a cost-reflected tariff, and then understanding that there's economic reasons why you cannot just implement a cost-reflected tariff where people cannot pay and you have issues. But at the end of the day, there needs to be some handshake between the public and the private sector to not only recognize it, but to then close that gap, because it becomes part of a business issue. The discos will find it very, very, very hard to survive if they continue running businesses like an NGO.
This line of discussion reveals one of the issues which stakeholders in the power sector have complained about: funding for the sector.
Government itself is not showing a good example, because there are these MDA debts, Ministries, Department and Agencies debts, that's well over 100 billion. They too are not leading by example. If you're not paying, really, morally, do you have any right to be insisting on anybody else paying?
Nigerians as a whole have been apportioned part of the blame, as this could say many do not pay their tariffs.
Well, our light for Wuru is like when month ends, we go see lights. As they see lights, and so they see NEPA bill. Even the last one they bring come now, to the extent my landlord asked everybody in compound whether we'll get another extra factory in the compound. We say we don't know. When I enter the compound, I think they give us 2,500, 3,000. As of now, they give us 20,000. We ask the man, even to the extent the day where they come, one day where they came, at their house, I ask the man, okay, look at here, nobody get AC here. Why the light they go up, the bill they go up like this? We don't have factory for here. If we have factory, let us know. He said, make we go to the office for some may go complain, or make we go to Shomolu area go complain. Because they say, me, I did not know anywhere on those side. The man will say, that bill where they carry come, you overpower me.
If you get a product, you pay for it. If you have a genuine grievance, you go complain. But the answer can never be call somebody to help you bypass and you're not paying. When you're not paying like that, you starve the system of funds.
The solution lies in metering, and to cut costs, local manufacturers come into the picture. Presently, the cost of a single-phase smart meter is 39,000 naira, while a three-phase is about 68,000 naira.
About 2 out of 11 discos have signed us in to produce meter for them, and these are the meter you are seeing being produced now. So we have signed up with 2 discos, and we hope more of the disco will come into an agreement with us so that we can, on a continuous basis, roll out meter for them. One is 30,000, one is less than 1,000. So you can see when we have more than 3 million metering gap, and we are just producing 30,000, 1,000. It's underutilization of our capacity.
Once again, financing is a problem here. Mr. Oduton explains that the issue is one of the factors in the cycle of electricity consumption, tariff policy, and response on the side of consumers.
The issue of metering is a very contentious issue. is an issue that requires a lot of work, a lot of investment, and for the discos, we know that the only way we can solve the problem of our customers is to meter them. So we don't have money. That is the truth. The reason why we don't have money, I've just explained to you, is that we are buying a product at 68 naira. We are only allowed to sell the same product for 31 naira 58 kobo, and nobody is paying for the shortfall in between, and they still expect me to go and buy meter for my customers. It will not work. So I plead with our people, and I really apologize to Nigerians for this shortage of meter, this slow in the process of metering. But they should understand it's a capital expenditure that is, if are not properly allowed for in the MITO, in our tariff calculation. We have less than 1/4 of what we need for metering in that MITO. But those who understand the system know that we just need to go back to basic, replan everything, so there will be cost recovery mechanism in the pricing of the product. For today, or as of today, the pricing of that product is not appropriate. And that's why you are not getting meters. That's why your transformers take long to be replaced or repaired. That's why some people still contribute money to buy their poles. These are not normal things. It is the duty of discos to give you meters, to get poles for you, to repair your transformer, to supply you with transformer, or replace it, or even to energize the one that you already have.
It is essentially the policy issue that shortchanged consumer opportunity to be able to buy meter directly from us. Is policy precisely. I don't believe that, all things being equal, if we sit down to work out the technical issues and the configuration issue to set up a meter into anybody's network is the easiest thing to do, especially we that knows how to configure the meters. And we design meters, so we know exactly what to do. And we are not only producing meter, we design software applications, so we can at the same time develop a platform where it will be devoid of interference, and people will be able to configure their meter and it will go to the disco's database without hindrances or a threat to their integrity of their database.